What's up, guys? Welcome to your 90th Android tutorial for the new Boston. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just finishing setting up some of those variables. So we're going to do that quickly. The two variables we want to be able to use for a whole class is a WebView and also the URL. So basically our WebView, what do we label that as? Our browser. So make sure those are variables we can use throughout our whole class. And then again, I set up the edit text. This is going to be basically the URL. If you type that in, we're going to allow that to use that URL. And then also I set up all of our buttons with the references, and I set all the on-click listeners, and I implemented again the on-click listener up here and set up just the standard switching case that we're familiar with. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into some of the methods that we can use with this web view. So far the only method we have is loading a URL from default. But we're also going to allow all these buttons to actually do something. That's what we're basically going to establish in this tutorial. Pretty simple stuff for the most part. Nothing too complicated. It's going to be pretty, like I said, pretty simple here. So let's get into it. We're going to just kind of do some of the methods with this Go button. So basically the first thing that we're going to do is we have our edit text, right, so they can type in a URL, and then once we hit the Go button, it's just going to create basically just the website we want within our web view. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our edit text, which we called URL, at least I called URL. We're going to set this equal to our URL dot, or actually let's start a new string. We're going to say string, and we're going to say the website, something like that. This is going to be equal to our URL, which is our edit text. We're going to say again get text, and then we're going to say toString. So that's kind of a review, but basically we're creating a string that's going to be whatever is in our edit text. Then we're going to say basically again our web view, so we're going to say our brow, which is our web view, and we're going to say dot load URL, and then we're just going to load that string that we set up, so the website. So far nothing new for the most part, but now we're just allowing people to type in their own basically web URL that they want to go to, and then we're gonna go to that URL. So nothing new there, nothing complicated. Basically once we use our browser or web view a few times, we store some of that data. So we can use a back button to go to the previous website, a forward button to go to the next website. And what we can use is a method called, well, we're going to use this on our web view. So we're going to say our brow, and then we can say, like for example, since this is the back button, we can say go back. Pretty simple method, pretty easy to remember because we want to go back. And let's say, for example, right when our application starts, it's going to load my website, mybringback.com. But let's say there's no previous history, so there's nothing to go back to. So we're going to set up a simple if statement. And what we're going to say is we're going to say web, or our brow again, which is our web view. And then we're going to say a method. This is Boolean, so it's going to be true or false. So we can say can go back. So that's going to be like, hey, can we go back? And if we can, then we're going to do this line of code, which will go back. And that's going to be kind of the same layout for a go forward as well. So we're just going to copy and paste that. Instead of saying can go back, we're going to say dot can go forward. So again, that's Boolean, checking if it's true or false. And if it's true, we're going to make it our web view go forward. And can you guess the method? It's called go forward. Pretty simple again. But again, these are just some of the methods that we can use for WebView. Now the refresh, we're going to again say something like our brow, again referring to our web view, and we're just going to simply just go dot reload. So it's not actually refresh, but it's reload. Still pretty easy method to remember, and that's just going to reload the website. And then for example, if we want to clear history, so we go through 10 websites and we want to clear the history, so our go back button won't work anymore. To do that, we're going to say our brow and then dot clear history. So that one's pretty easy as well. And those are the simple methods that I want to teach you guys in this lesson. We can run it or save it. Let's see, I'm getting an error. Just got to finish off that statement there. And we can run this and it'll work. But I want to show you one of the problems that we're going to solve in the next tutorial. Alright, so we're going to go down to our simple browser application, and it's going to load up again my bring back. And the only thing, well, this isn't the problem that we're going to solve, but for example, if you just said www dot, it's not going to work. You have to do the http //www dot the new Boston or something like that .com, and then we just hit our go button and it's going to load up that website, as you can see here. And so that's pretty neat. And then if we hit the go back button, it's going to go back to my bring back, go forward, go back, and then clear history. Then we try and go forward again. It's not going to allow us because it cleared all the history. Now here's the problem that we're going to solve in the next tutorial. Let's say I want to click on one of the links, like blog from a website. It opens up a new intent, and it uses the browser intent that's built in with Android. So we want to get rid of that for the most part. I mean, we don't necessarily want to, but we're going to, because we want to have our browser kind of do everything. So it reloads in this WebView. So I'll catch you guys in that tutorial, and have a good one.